Today, Governor Kim Reynolds issued a disaster proclamation for Wapello County in response to severe weather on April 2nd. The proclamation frees up state resources to address the effects of this severe weather. It also activates the Iowa Individual Assistance Grant Program and the Disaster Case Advocacy Program. It is effective immediately and will remain in effect for 30 days unless terminated or extended. A 23-year-old Michigan man has been charged with kidnapping, indecent contact with a child, and sexual exploitation of a minor. Daniel Kahn of Ann Arbor, Michigan, was arrested in response to an Amber Alert issued on Sunday by the Waterloo Police Department for a missing 12-year-old child. Within an hour of the alert, Waterloo police detectives were notified that the suspect's vehicle had been located by law enforcement in Michigan and that the child was safe. Kahn is currently being held in Berrien County Jail in Michigan. Police say this is an ongoing investigation. A statewide program connecting Iowa schools with local food producers is in limbo as lawmakers begin work on the state budget. A non-budget bill would make the pilot program permanent, but funding hasn't been included in the actual budget. Local 5's J.D. Snover is in studio with more on why some farmers are now pushing back.
Yeah, Stephanie, that's exactly right. The proposal is part of the Choose Iowa initiative, and supporters say the cost is relatively small, but the impact could be big.
Beth Hoffman and her husband owned land north of Albia, where they raise cattle and goats. They're part of a program called Choose Iowa, a statewide initiative focused on keeping locally grown food right here at home.
But it's also, a sense of pride. Like we're excited that we are made in Iowa. Our products are made in Iowa.
Choose Iowa includes several components, from marketing programs that label locally grown food in stores.
When you go to the grocery store, most of the products you buy come from a global supply chain. And so farmers who are growing for their local communities are often at a disadvantage. And so having a place where you have a guaranteed market for an item grown in Iowa, that is a huge support for Iowa farmers growing food.
2 grants that help small producers expand, and a pilot program designed to bring more Iowa-grown food into school lunches.
The schools are in effect like the largest restaurant you could possibly imagine in the state. And so they generate millions, if not billions of dollars a year that they're spending on food.
But funding for that school pilot isn't included in the proposed state agriculture budget this year, largely because it only spends about $45 million, one of the smallest portions of the overall state spending plan.
We don't get a terrible lot of money given the fact that Iowa is the kind of state that it is.
So there's a similar Choose Iowa program that supplies food banks, and that is included in the proposed budget at about $200,000. Advocates for this proposal say that same level of funding could keep the school program alive, Stephanie.
JD, thank you. 2 rulings by a federal court today will now allow the state of Iowa to enforce a 2023 law restricting teachers from discussing LGBTQ+ topics with students in kindergarten through 6th grade. The law allows some book bans in libraries and classrooms as well. The 8th Circuit Court of Appeals determined a previous decision by a lower court had a flawed analysis of the law. Iowa Attorney General Brenna Bird called the decisions a victory for parental rights and control in education. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for Penguin Random House, one of the publishing companies that sued Iowa over the law, said they are disappointed by the decision and are evaluating their options. El Centro Library is celebrating its Big 2-0, and 2 decades ago, building it downtown was considered a controversial move.
I like to joke that when this area was built, it was mostly car lots and strip clubs, and since then, the vitality that's come to this area just because the library happened to move in. So,
the Central Library was built by a Pritzker Award-winning architect that's referred to as the Nobel Prize for Architecture. Central Library is giant, the size of a football field and a half, and there's more than books. You can browse through its art collection, print on its 3D printer, check out a weed whacker and its library of things, and there's rooms for the community to gather and connect. There's even a grass roof, which helps heat and cool the library and prevents leaks. And most importantly, there's no cost for any of it.
I think what people are always surprised about, first, there's the lovely aspect of the fact that everything is free here. That's one of the things that I love to be able to talk about when people come in and they're like, how much is a library card? And I say, there's no charge for a library card. How much is it to check out this, carpet washer? Well, there's no charge for that.
You can help celebrate the library's birthday. There are architecture tours tonight, Tuesday and Wednesday night. And Wednesday is the big celebration. That is from 2 to 4 p.m. Today, the American Library Association announced the 10 recipients of the prestigious I Love My Librarian Award, which included one of Iowa's very own. Zachary Steyer, Director of Children's Services at Erickson Public Library in Boone, was recognized for transforming the library into a community-centered hub for learning and connection. During his 15-year tenure, he created innovative programs like the Little Engines Project and Activating Community Voices, which have boosted reading minutes and strengthened community bonds. The winners were selected from a pool of more than 1,300 submissions. The award comes with a $5,000 cash prize and a $750 stipend for the American Library Association's annual convention held this year in Chicago. The war in Iran has led to major volatility in oil and gas prices, with many hoping that relief is soon in sight. Oil topping $112 a barrel today. ABC's Melissa Adon has a look at how people are dealing with the oil crisis.
Across the country, gas prices remain high, from truckers paying for diesel in New York.
I used to be able to fill up my truck for, 200 or so, 250, that's 100 gallons. Now it's half the prices, so it's really doubled.
To California drivers paying for regular.
It's at $137, so that's significant.
The average price of regular gasoline now tops $4 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy.
It's a lot to fill this truck up, so only thing I do is go to work and go home.
According to President Trump, Iran is asking for a ceasefire, but Trump says the U.S. will only consider it, quote, when the Hormuz Strait is open, free, and clear. The effective closure of the vital waterway has sent gas prices in the U.S. skyrocketing. Trump insisting those prices will come down quickly once the operation ends.
I can tell you that we have an active, willing participant on the other side. They would like to be able to make a deal. I can't say any more than that.
Delivery drivers are feeling the impacts as Amazon, UPS, FedEx, USPS all say they'll add temporary fuel surcharges to offset extra costs. Over the Easter weekend in Minnesota, a church gifting gas.
As high as gas is right now, and for them to do gas giveaways, this is a blessing. Like, come get in line.
And a church in South Florida handing out $25 worth of gas.
And for many people, they're trying to figure out whether they're going to buy gas or buy grocery.
Economists warn as gas prices continue to rise, households are likely to spend more on food and groceries. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In Iowa, it's currently $3.48 per gallon, up over 40 cents versus a month ago, according to AAA. We do have a reminder for drivers. Starting tonight, a part of I-80 will be closed. The overnight closures will affect I-80 from Jordan Creek Parkway to the Southwest Mixmaster. This will start at 8:30 at night and last until 5 in the morning, today through Friday. There will be marked detour routes.